All right, welcome. Today, we're going on a journey to the very edge of consciousness itself. We're going to explore two of the most fascinating experiences the human mind can possibly have, lucid dreaming and astral travel. We're talking about stuff that really pushes the boundaries of what we even think of as reality.
I mean, just think about it for a second. What if, while you were asleep, you could suddenly realize you're dreaming and then become the director of your own movie? Or what if you could take it even a step further? What if your consciousness could literally leave your physical body behind and go explore other places, maybe even other dimensions? This isn't just science fiction, you know? These are real experiences that people all over the world have reported for centuries. So, in this first part, we're going to break down our key terms, lucid dreaming and astral travel. We'll look at how they're understood in, esoteric traditions and fields like parapsychology, which is all about studying things that are kind of beyond what mainstream science usually looks at. Because here's the thing, people mix them up all the time, but they're described as two fundamentally different experiences.
Okay, so let's start with lucid dreaming. At its absolute core, it's that incredible moment of realization that, wait a minute, I'm dreaming. That awareness, that's the whole key. It's what shifts you from just being a passive passenger along for the ride in your dream to an active participant. It gives you the power to consciously shape the world and everything that happens inside your own mind. Now, lucid dreams have some really specific characteristics. They almost always happen during REM sleep, that's rapid eye movement sleep, which is the stage where our most vivid dreams happen anyway. The key difference, though, is that click of awareness. And with that awareness comes a huge degree of control. You want to fly? You can fly. You want to build a castle out of thin air? You can do it. But, and this is crucial, it's all happening inside the landscape of your own subconscious. And these experiences are surprisingly brief, usually lasting somewhere between, say, 7 and 13 minutes.
All right, let's switch gears to a completely different concept, astral travel. You've probably heard it called an out-of-body experience, or OBE. Now, people who believe in this describe it as something that is not a dream. It's a genuine separation. The whole idea is that your conscious mind, what some traditions call the astral body, actually detaches from your physical body while it's sleeping and can travel on its own. Not inside your head, but out in a separate external reality. And right here, we can see the core differences laid out side by side. I mean, both states involve an awake mind and a sleeping body, right? But the location, that's the great divide. A lucid dream is totally internal. It's all happening inside your subconscious. Astral travel, on the other hand, is claimed to be external, on some other plane of existence. So one is a type of dream, and the other is described as a real out-of-body experience. And check out the difference in control. With lucid dreaming, you have almost total command. But with astral travel, that control isn't absolute because the environment can be shaped by your deeper subconscious. So, now that we've kind of drawn that line in the sand, let's dive a little deeper into the whole worldview behind astral travel. Because this isn't some new age idea, not at all. It's a concept that's rooted in ancient mystical accounts of the soul's journey. You see, according to these esoteric traditions, we're way more complex than just our physical bodies. A good way to think of it is like a set of those Russian nesting dolls. You've got the dense physical body we all know. Then, wrapped around that is something called the etheric body, which is often described as a kind of life energy field. And then beyond that is the astral body, the vehicle for our emotions and desires, and that is what's believed to be doing the traveling during an out-of-body experience. And this brings us to a really famous piece of astral lore, the silver cord. It's described as this energetic, kind of elastic tether that connects the traveling astral body all the way back to the physical one. It's basically seen as a lifeline, making sure that no matter how far you go, there's always a safe way back. And according to tradition, this cord is only ever broken at the final moment of death. Okay, so we've explored the esoteric view. Now let's do a full 180 and ask, what does modern neuroscience have to say about these incredible experiences? Well, from a scientific standpoint, the explanation points directly inward, right to the brain itself. Neuroscientists suggest that what people describe as lucid dreams and out-of-body experiences are, well, they're fascinating for sure, but they're entirely natural states of consciousness. Like during a lucid dream, the brain's prefrontal cortex, that's our center for self-awareness, it suddenly becomes active. It's almost like your conscious mind wakes up while the rest of your brain just keeps on dreaming. So from this view, they aren't journeys outward, they're journeys inward. Now, to really get how the brain might create a sensation of being out of body, let's talk about something that a lot of us have actually felt, sleep paralysis. You know that really unsettling moment, maybe when you're falling asleep or just waking up, where your mind is totally alert and aware, but you can't move a single muscle? Your body is just frozen? Well, the symptoms of sleep paralysis are, well, they're strikingly similar to a lot of the descriptions of an astral travel experience. That feeling of not being able to move, a heavy pressure on your chest, vivid hallucinations that feel completely real, and very often a powerful sensation of floating or flying or even being pulled right out of your body. Neuroscientists suggest that this is probably the exact same brain mechanism at play. And this is such a crucial point. Just because something feels real, that isn't proof that it's actually happening externally. Our brain is the ultimate reality generator. It builds our entire experience of the world from the ground up. And under certain conditions, like that weird state between being awake and asleep, it can create these incredibly convincing sensations all on its own, with zero input from our actual senses. And from a scientific perspective, this is a really compelling point. Despite countless stories and personal claims, there has never been a single repeatable, scientifically controlled experiment where someone has, say, astrally projected and brought back information they couldn't have possibly known otherwise, like reading a hidden message in another room. Until that kind of evidence exists, science is going to maintain that the experience starts and ends inside the brain. So here we are. We're left with two totally different explanations for very similar experiences. One side talks about the soul's journey. The other points to the brain's incredible power to generate its own reality. So, how do we square that circle? Where do these two worlds meet? Well, this is one area where both sides can actually agree. Whether you believe it's a neurological event or a spiritual one, the experience itself, that feeling of becoming conscious in a dream or floating above your own body, is undeniably profound. For the person going through it, it is 100% real. So the debate isn't really about the reality of the experience, it's about the origin of that reality. Let's circle back to that idea of control, because it shows a really fascinating difference. In a lucid dream, you're pretty much the master of ceremonies. It's your subconscious playground, and you get to direct the whole movie. But in the astral travel model, it's different. Proponents say you're more like a visitor in another realm, and that means your deepest fears or your greatest desires can literally manifest right in front of you, creating an environment that isn't entirely under your command at all.
So ultimately, this whole debate leaves us with a massive fundamental question about what consciousness even is. Is it just a product of the brain, something completely contained inside our skulls? Or is the brain more like an antenna, picking up a signal from somewhere else entirely? Is consciousness something we have, or is it somewhere we can go? And that, right there, is the question that both science and spirituality are still trying to figure out.